right, House of Pain fans, just a quick video here. And when I say quick, usually I'm like, oh, this video will be 3 minutes, and it turns out to be 15. I don't think it will be that long, but go ahead and like the video. Let's try to get to 30 likes. Hit subscribe so you can help me reach 1 million subscribers one day. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out on new content. And follow me on my social media platforms. Links to everything is going to be in the description box below. And remember, I did start Facebook groups for Bruh, Roofless, Assisted Living, and House of Pain. So I have links to, Facebook groups for pretty much every show I review. You can go in the groups and discuss with other fans of the show, problems, concerns, favorite moments, things like that every day, not just on the day the episode comes on or the comment section of my videos. But something that was pointed out was the fact that the cursing seems a bit forced rather than natural. Like, it's kind of interesting when you watch a show like, I think Bruh is the best example because it's more of a sitcom comedic show, kind of like House of Pain. The only difference is on a different platform where you have House of Pain on BET and Bruh on BET Plus. I think that Miss Alice is the most, I guess you could say, raunchy character on the show. In a way, she's kind of like the Vinny from Assisted Living, but she's, well, more crude and in your face. Like, I love Alice, but there are times where I do feel like, they're just, well, no pun intended, given the context, they're just laying it on a bit too thick with the foul language, the sexual references and all, and it doesn't feel comedic at all. It's more like, would you really say that in a situation with a person? But more to the point of House of Pain, I think in this recent episode when Calvin, I think it was episode 10, Something's Rotten, when Calvin had just left his parents' house because of the whole situation between Miranda and Laura. He came into CJ's house, and well, then again, I know in black households, like, slamming the door doesn't even mean you slammed it. It's like, oh, you're gonna close my door harder than you should. And basically, Calvin shut the door, and one of the plates fell, and CJ's like, why are you up in here breaking my shit? And then I'm like, wow, that was awkward. I know somebody on Twitter was like, oh snap, somebody got CJ's New Jack Swing Days back in action. I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny. But then I know in an early episode, I think it was the one about On Your Side. I think it was like episode 3 or 4. That's the one where Janine and CJ were like, don't worry, Malik, we got your back. And I know Curtis like, this is some bullshit. I mean, that was pretty funny, but there have just been several times in House of Pain where the cursing definitely seems forced as opposed to natural. Like, sometimes it's legit funny. Other times I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they say that. And other times I'm like, was that really needed? But really, to the point, I really think it comes down to the show being on BET, so Tyler isn't held by the same restrictions he was when the show was originally on the WB and then on TBS. So there will be things in House of Pain now that we aren't used to, we aren't used to based on the show being on TBS. Same for Assisted Living from the little bit I did sit through. That's why Vinny is pretty much all raunchy and everything and, foul mouth compared to Meet the Browns when it was on TBS. So I can't even imagine. Well, honestly, I don't even want to think about it, but when I say on BET Plus, I mean, like, if Tyler Perry was putting out new seasons of House of Pain on BET Plus, I don't even want to think about how raunchy it is. Like, if the House of Pain was on BET Plus, we would probably see Lisa in the strip club. That's probably how raunchy it would get just because it's on BET Plus. I mean, don't believe me, look at Ruthless. That show is wild. There ain't no way in hell it would be on the regular BET network without a crap ton of censorship. So let me know what you think. And are you like taken aback by the cursing? Do you think that it's even necessary? I feel like it's more of a spin on the face of the original series. I'm not saying like you shouldn't curse at all. I'm just feeling like this show doesn't give off that vibe. It's almost like Tyler Perry is just going to do this kind of stuff because of the fact that it's on BET and he can do it. I mean, I know this is just another random example of comic books and whatnot, but I remember Young Justice, the first 2 seasons came on Cartoon Network. Season 3 came out on DC Universe. And, season 3, it was okay. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great, but I did buy the DVD last month. It was on sale. But when you watch that season of Young Justice compared to the first 2, you can tell that the writers definitely had more freedom when it came to certain things. Like, there was more blood, more gore, um, they had more, I guess you could say, I believe the correct word is representation when it comes to different sexual orientations and things like that. So they really kind of laid it on thick in the episodes. That's how I feel about Tyler Perry's move to BET, specifically with shows that were once on another network, but he's creating new seasons on the BET Viacom networks. And as a result, he's being more R-rated as opposed to PG-13, so to speak. But let me know what you think. Do you think the cursing is something that kind of taints the show? Do you feel like it doesn't bother you at all, or do you just feel like me, where it feels like most of the time it's almost like when these characters curse, it's kind of like they're second guessing themselves, like, am I really saying this in House of Payne? That's kind of how I feel when the delivery comes out, but that's just me. So overall, thanks so much for tuning in as always, and if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.